Hey y'all, it's Gaming Granny coming at you, and this is Fortnite. We are currently level 86, starting with level 4 in November. I've been asked recently to play H1Z1, which is similar, except for it's, from what I've seen, I've played like 2 or 3 matches is all. The controls seem a lot more complicated than Fortnite. But if I figure it out and can do it, then I may do a little back and forth. Okay. Do not send hate to anyone mentioned in any video I make. Do not bully, dox, or harass anyone. I just don't want it, and you shouldn't want it either. If you do dox someone or harass or bully them and I find out, you will be blocked from my channel permanently. And you would have to do quite a bit to prove that you're not that same person ever again. Alrighty. I'm going to give some shout outs. The first one is for Amanda Pants Does Life. Amanda, once again, you had an awesome discussion tonight. And I know that we all appreciate those, the ones that you have. I think it helps people to talk about things that are hard to talk about. Even though, you know, there's not much that can be done about them or whatever, but it does help just to share it, I think. But that's my opinion. Alright. Oh, and Amanda Pants. Amanda Pants Does Life. I also love that you are no longer covering the whole saga of that lawsuit mess. Alright. Next. Radiant Brit. Brit, you're on vacation. And I told you once to stop filming for vacation. But then, there it is. The next day I see a new video. I hope you enjoy your vacation. Okay? My third shout out goes to Claire S. Bayer. Claire had a wonderful discussion on her channel the other night about boundaries with Dina Danzig. My brain and my head didn't want to work together at the same time there. I mean, my brain and my tongue. Yeah, they had a really good discussion on boundaries. And anybody who's ever been in therapy knows that's usually one of the areas that you have to start with, because a lot of us never learned that there are boundaries. So, Now, if you're my grandchildren and you're on this, baby's Nana says turn this one off and go back to an older one or something else, because this one is not going to be for y'all, okay? Yeah, if you have little kids in the room, don't watch this, okay? It's pretty safe to say that most of my content is not child proof, but I do try to have some PG content just for, like, my grandbabies. Okay, I can't tell them no, I can't, but I have to get mean with them when I'm on here doing stuff that isn't for little ones. So, if Nana finds out you did not leave this room when she told you to, she will whoop your hind end and you know it. Alright. I'll try not to yell anymore in front of y'all. But, you know, I have to protect them. That's part of my job. When it's something they need to know, then I'll let them know. Or when it's about something fun that I need them to show me what it is or teach me. Mm-hmm. Where in the heck did she go? That pisses me off. Yeah, run. See, all that running and all you did was still die. People make me mad. I mean, really, why go through all that just to die anyway? Dumb people. We need some more smart people in this world, I'm telling you. It's getting bad. I know I sounded like a goat there. Bad. My voice, you'll have to excuse it. It's been jacked up for quite some time with dust and allergies. Alright, so for today's video, I am doing a true crime stream. As you might have guessed by the yelling and throwing my grandchildren out, telling them not to be here. That's usually a sign that I'm going to discuss a crime or something similar. Alright, Granny. Way to go there. So anyways, there was this girl and her name was Alicia, And Alicia was a young lady. I don't know how old. Let's just say late teens, early 20s, because that's probably about right. She was in college still, and I'm assuming since she said she was getting degrees in forensics and those kind of things, that she would be in a 2-year school. But I won't swear to that. Great, we're going to have to get across there and get a car and get going. So she was working at one of these big chain stores, and she was working in the gardening section. So it offered her some time off in the winter while she was in school. And she really liked her job. She did not really like her boss, but she really liked her job. So she worked in a gardening section, and she gets, pretty good pay. I mean, it's not. It was enough that when she found herself to be pregnant, that she knew she could be, that she thought she would be comfortable being a single mom. So her boss was named Brian Cooper, and he was her supervisor where she worked. And she was trying to placate get it eaten fast enough. Okay, so anyway, where were we? Alicia Bromfield, sorry, and Curtis Brian Cooper. Alright, so I don't know how long she had been working for Brian, but she had been working there and during this time she became pregnant, and she knew she was gonna be a single mom. So she was preparing herself for that. She was only a semester from getting degrees in forensics and law enforcement. She was 6 or 7 months pregnant. She knew she was having a daughter who she was going to name Ava Lucille. She worked in this garden store where Brian Cooper was her boss. He was going around telling people that worked with them and people in his personal life that he thought him and her would have a relationship. That he was in love with her and he wanted to have a relationship. And so he was telling people that they were dating without telling her. So she was trying to be nice and let him down gently. She did like his friendship, but she didn't want any more than that. And there was a little bit of an age difference. We're talking at least a 5 or 6 year gap. Because anything around 3 is, usually no big deal. But 5 and 6 years can make a big difference. Just saying. Now, like I said, she was doing everything possible to keep the job because she knew it would give her time in the winter to, finish school and be prepared to find jobs in her field and be a single mom. Now, Alicia didn't know that he was going around telling people that they were dating and all this and that and the other. I don't believe. Because I don't believe she would have went with him. And you'll know what I mean in a minute by that. On her own. It was obvious to everyone but him that she just wanted to be able to have her baby and raise it. She wasn't looking for a man. Brian had a history of harming a former girlfriend who did not report the assault. Brian Cooper told Alicia if she did not go as his date to his sister's wedding, she would lose her job. Alicia relented and went to the wedding, but she specified only as a friend and only if we stay where the whole wedding party is staying. And he said fine, and she called her mom and told her what she was doing and where they were going to be staying, and that she had told him it was just as friends and that nothing was going to happen and that they were going to stay in the same place where the wedding party was staying. And her mom said, if you're sure that's where the whole wedding party is staying, that's fine. But otherwise, I'm not sure I would approve. But, you know, she's on her own right now. She lives by herself. So, I mean, there's not much the mom can do but take notes about what she said. So they go check into this resort the day before the wedding. No, the day of the wedding. I forgot it's a later in the day wedding. Sorry, I needed a drink for a second. So they get to the resort and she finds out they're staying where no one else is staying. So they argued. And Alicia was, of course, very upset because he has booked them in a resort, just the two of them in a different hotel. So Brian begged her to stay and go to the wedding with him so he could save face, because he was supposed to actually, not only was this wedding his sister's wedding, he was supposed to give the bride away. So she told him that she would go to the wedding with him, but that was it. Their friendship, everything would be over after that point, because she no longer trusted him to be a friend. And he kept thinking, well, she'll change her mind during the wedding. She can't stay mad at me that long. Because in his mind, they were already in a relationship that Alicia knew nothing about. But she did go to the wedding with him, and Alicia, of course, did not drink, so she was sober the whole time. Brian, on the other hand, was what we used to call 3 sheets to the wind, or very drunk. And Brian kept telling everybody at the wedding that they were friends, and he hoped that she would become his girlfriend. And now he was drunk and upset. And when they got back to the hotel room, he talked to her for a few minutes before she went to bed. She was getting ready to go straight to bed. And he told her he'd be in a little bit to go to bed. So later, after drinking a bunch more, even though he was already drunk, Brian went and climbed into the bed. And now he is hurt, drunk, upset, crying, not wanting to go home without her, at least as a friend. And so she stirs when he gets in the bed. And he asked if they couldn't keep plans for watching a TV show that he had on DVD next Sunday. And Alicia said no, there would not be any such Sunday. At this point, Brian jumped on top of the pregnant Alicia and started strangling her as she begged and pleaded for her baby and hers lives. At some point, they rolled out of the bed onto the floor, and Brian continues strangling Alicia until she dies. Then he rapes her corpse. He makes several half-hearted tries at suicide. And then he goes to a gas station to call 911. So he walked into a convenience store, soaking wet from head to toe, dripping water everywhere, and asked the clerk to call 911 for him. And the clerk called 911, and they answered, and they wanted to know what the problem was. And she said, well, I have a customer who wanted me to call you. And they said, well, let us talk to your customer. So she handed the phone to him. And it was Brian. And he said he wanted to report a murder. And they said, well, where's this murder? And he gave them the room number of the hotel resort that they were staying at, where he had left Alicia's body. And they said, well, how do you know she's been murdered? And he said, because I did it. In his first trial, he pleaded voluntary intoxication as a defense, resulting in a hung jury. In his second trial, he got 2 consecutive life sentences. Her mom works to get voluntary intoxication to be removed as a defense. And Alicia's mom gets that passed in 31 states. So in 31 states, you can no longer say, hey, look, I was way too drunk to form intent. And all he kept saying when the police were interviewing him was, if she had just stayed my friend, it would have been fine. It's a heart-wrenching story, because you got this young woman who's pregnant and ready to be a single mom, and she has no idea that her boss is going around telling everybody he meets their boyfriend and girlfriend. Not to mention that his family all thought he was her girlfriend. I mean, she was his girlfriend. Because she had to keep explaining during the wedding, or at the reception, no, I'm just his friend. We work together. And when I say he made several half-hearted tries at suicide, he took himself out to the ocean and tried to drown himself. At one point, he even put rocks in his pockets. But every time he would go under, he would panic and come back up. And finally, he just gave up. My thoughts and prayers go out to both families, especially Alicia's family, because they lost not only Alicia, but they lost Ava as well. And the sad part is these stories happen every day in America. Every day somebody gets hurt, murdered, kidnapped, all those different things. So that is this Alicia Brumfield's story. Now, I'm just going to talk for a minute or two because, like I said, I'm trying a new game. I don't know how it's going to go. But if I can learn the controls and then get to know the game pretty decently, then you may get to see me play it. But, yeah. That's really all the excitement I've got for now. We're about to start painting here, I think. Well, they're working on the master suite still. Because we just... but, you know, I'm hoping it won't be long now because I'm in one of the boys' bedrooms. And I need to get out of here so he can paint it. But they're going to paint my room as soon as they get done with it. My room is supposed to be euphoric lilac. It's supposed to be good for creativity. We'll find out, won't we? I hope you guys enjoyed this true crime story. If there's something else y'all want me to cover or you think would be fun to watch or, you know, a different game you want me to try, like I said, I'm going to try H1Z1 and see if I can figure out the controls and get to doing it better. I know with all these games it's a learning curve. I mean, look, we started this one in November at level 4 and we're at level 86 and getting better at it as we go. So that's the only thing I can really say about that. Must not have been a box up there this time. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it for now. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you didn't, leave me some comments. If you did, leave me some comments. Just so you know, during this month of March, I will be unavailable on Tuesday nights. I'm taking a Bible class, and well, it's kind of a Bible class, but it's kind of one of those working on yourself things too, which I've been working on myself for a while, a couple years now. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Laters.